Now at 5, get an inside look at the new 911 dispatch center in Miami. Plus, KDOT hosts a meeting to gather public input on the future of Highway 69. And
Vice President Kamala Harris campaigns in a battleground state for the first time since President Biden exited the race. I'm Natalie Brand with a look at the support she's gathering and the search for a running mate.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Quapaw Nation and Ottawa County 911 Authority today cut the ribbon for their new dispatch center. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Tanya Bach. The new 911 dispatch center uses technology to allow the public to send text or video calls to dispatch. They're also able to detect location more accurately. With the new technology, they can respond faster to emergencies and help more people.
Whether it be video, text messages, voice. They are also clearer and more reliable. With Next Gen 911 and the 911 system we currently have, it pinpoints the location faster and more reliable than it ever has.
Barger says their goal with creating the new dispatch center is to make Ottawa County safer. Well, Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us with a first look at weather.
Yeah, it turned out to be another pretty nice day for us today. A little bit warmer than what we saw yesterday. Most of us into the mid to upper 80s. 86 in Joplin. We have 86 in Pittsburgh right now. A little bit cooler once you get a little farther east into our eastern counties. And then you get near 90 in Neodesha, Independence, and also Parsons and Chanute. So our western counties have been a little bit warmer. Some cumulus clouds out there again tonight, like last night. We may get an isolated thunderstorm. The better chance is going to be along and south of I-44. Through the evening hours, temperatures slide back through the 80s, 70s, upper 60s later on tonight, but a slow warming trend as we go through the next several days. So we're going to be breaking that down for you here in a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. This morning, residents and stakeholders gathered at Pittsburgh's Memorial Auditorium to discuss their thoughts about the future of Highway 69. After a freeway project with plans to expand the highway on the western alignment was canceled in 2023, KDOT asked the public to attend one of several open houses and voice their opinion about future plans. Many folks say they are concerned about the project's cost compared to its benefits, as well as the impact on small businesses in the wake of a new city bypass. Now, if you missed today's open house, you have 2 more chances tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Palooka's in Frontenac, and then from 4 to 6 p.m. at Northeast High School in Arma. The August primaries are just around the corner, and local election officials are getting ready. The Jasper County Clerk today hosted a public test of county voting equipment. Anyone was able to attend the test, which makes sure the equipment, programming, and process for the elections work without failure.
I have 2 ladies that do the public test, and the reason we do that is we don't want any staff members involved. We want to have a Republican and a Democrat that are actually doing the feeding of the ballots through the machine. We want people to understand that it is not our office telling you that it is accurate and the test is good.
You can find important election dates and deadlines on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, this afternoon, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries joined the chorus of Democrats endorsing Vice President Kamala Harris as the party's nominee for president. Natalie Brand reports from the White House.
Vice President Kamala Harris hits the campaign trail Tuesday to visit the battleground state of Wisconsin for the first time as a 2024 presidential candidate.
It is good to be back in Wisconsin, and it is great to be in Milwaukee.
With more than half the states now pledging their delegates, CBS News estimates the vice president has the support she needs to officially become the Democratic presidential nominee next month.
She said she would work to earn the support of our party, and boy, has she done so in quick order.
The Harris campaign says it's raised over $100 million since she announced she would seek the nomination. More than half are first-time donations. The Trump-Vance campaign wasted no time stepping up its attacks.
The border crisis is a Kamala Harris crisis. Harris is actually even more extreme than Biden, even though that's hard to believe.
As Vice President Harris continues to court Democratic support ahead of the convention next month, the big question ahead, who will be her running mate?
She needs to choose someone that she's prepared to govern with, campaign with, and someone that she feels most comfortable with.
Tuesday, President Biden made his first public appearance since ending his re-election bid.
How are you feeling since you dropped out of the race, sir?
He said on social media he would address the nation Wednesday night. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
President Biden's address tomorrow is scheduled for 7 p.m. and you can watch it live right here on KOAM or on our sister station, Fox 14. Well, the director of the Secret Service is stepping down after the security failure that allowed an assassination attempt against former President Donald Trump. Kimberly Cheadle announced her departure in an email to staff. Cheadle appeared before a congressional committee yesterday where she took responsibility for what she called the most significant operational failure in decades.
Can you answer why the Secret Service didn't place a single agent on the roof?
We are still looking into the advanced process and the decisions.
I believe, Director Cheadle, that you should resign.
Cheadle worked for the Secret Service for nearly 30 years. In a statement, President Biden wished her the best and said he would appoint a new director soon. Federal lawmakers today grilled Pennsylvania law enforcement officials about the security failures that allowed the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. Members of the House Homeland Security Committee fired questions at the head of Pennsylvania's state police as well as the national president of Fraternal Order of Police. Local law enforcement were part of the security effort at the Butler rally, where an armed assassin got within 500 feet of the former president. Still ahead, looking ahead to the holidays.
It may be the middle of summer, but toy makers are already gearing up for the holiday season. I'm Bradley Blackburn with what may be on your child's wish list this year.
And next in Health Watch, a new study shows the impact climate change is having on the mental health of Americans. Topping today's Health Watch, boys are more likely to develop type 1 diabetes than girls. That's according to a new study published in the UK. The study found up until age 10, the risk is the same, but it markedly decreases for girls at that point. The study authors say the link between autoantibody development and type 1 diabetes should be looked at. Autoantibodies are immune proteins that attack a person's own tissues or organs. During the study, autoantibodies were discovered to be more common in boys. A tracker tool developed by Mass General Brigham to help predict risk of dementia and stroke found it can also predict late life depression. The tool, known as the Brain Care Score, has been used to help patients determine how lifestyle changes could help minimize the risk of certain brain-related illnesses. The tool looks at both physical and social emotional factors. From rising temperatures to stormy weather and wildfires, a new survey shows climate change is impacting Americans' mental health. Michael George has more.
It's been a summer filled with extreme heat, storms, and wildfires, all events that have been increasing in recent years. Jordan Ansberry says climate change is on her mind.
It is stressful because it's like, what is this going to look like in 10 years, in 20 years? If I want to have kids one day, like, what are they going to go through?
More than half of adults say climate change is impacting their mental health, up from 48% in 2022, according to the American Psychiatric Association.
Individuals are worried about climate change, and that's what we think most about in terms of how it affects mental health. But it also affects it in a number of other ways. We know that there are direct impacts of heat on the brain. We see that the rate of suicides and violent crimes go up during heat waves.
Dr. Joshua Wartzel is chair of the APA's Committee on Climate Change and Mental Health.
And then there are the trauma effects of natural disasters from climate change and our distress about what we're seeing in the world around us.
The survey also shows more than half of Americans are anxious about the way the government is dealing with the climate change issue.
They can definitely speak to a mental health provider if they're feeling particularly distressed, as if this is affecting their thoughts of wanting to live or their more immediate well-being. They should certainly seek out emergency mental health care.
Robert Rosso says the recent heat waves are taking a toll.
It stresses me out because it's like almost feels like the embodiment of the whole climate change thing. It's like it's here and it's like outside when I walk outside.
Younger people, Black and Hispanic people, are more likely to cite the effects of climate change on their mental health. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
The APA says there are also climate-aware therapists and healthcare providers who have had special training in this area of climate change and mental health. An overwhelming demand for GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic, which were originally meant to treat diabetes but are now also used for weight loss, could contribute to drug shortages and worsen racial and ethnic disparities in drug access. That's according to a study published in the Annals of Internal Medicine. The data showed a majority of new users were non-Hispanic white women, and that demand for semaglutide-based treatments went from 33% of GLP-1 drugs in 2019 to 88% in 2023. That's a look at today's health news. A little later, how the e-commerce giant Overstock.com is trying to make a comeback.
Plus a slow warming trend as we go through the next few days. We'll look at that coming up. Well, it turned out to be a nice Tuesday for us today. A little bit warmer than what we saw yesterday, but overall, our temperatures are pretty good for us today. Most of us kind of about 86 to 88 to 90 degrees once you got into our western counties. Nice shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Let's check out our temperatures. 86 in Neosho, 85 in Bentonville. We have 86 in Nevada, 86 in Pittsburgh, Miami at 88, and then we have a few 90s, Independence, Parsons, and Chanute. Our humidity has creeped up a little bit. It's still not bad. Dew points kind of in mid 60s, which makes it feel a little bit on the sticky side, but besides that, it's okay. We do have some pop-up cumulus clouds once again for us this afternoon, and there have been a couple isolated random little thunderstorms in our southern counties, but most of us have been dry. Most of us will stay dry as we go through the evening hours. Upper level flow still right out of Canada, which is allowing our temperatures not to get too crazy hot. And we get these weak little waves which are going to rotate through. We have another one kind of developing down across southern parts of Texas, which will affect us as we get later on in the week. It'll gain a little tropical moisture and then kind of lift up toward us Friday and Saturday. What this will do is give us better chances for scattered showers and thunderstorms, a little bit more widespread. This is going to lift out of here on Sunday, and then we got to watch the big dome of high pressure, which starts to build back in for us as we go through next week. And of course, that means the heat and the humidity will be on the rise. All right, through tonight, if we get any isolated thunderstorms, they're gone as we lose the heating of the day. By morning, we'll be sitting mainly into the mid 60s for overnight lows. As we go through the morning hours, we'll be warm into the mid 80s, so a little bit warmer for us tomorrow. And I think most of us during the afternoon, right around 90. But you can also see these isolated little thunderstorms trying to pop up once again as we get into the afternoon hours. Tomorrow night looks fine again, not quite as cool. We drop back only into the upper 60s to near 70. Let's go into your Thursday. Thursday, I think partly sunny skies, dry, high temperatures, 90 to about 92, so a smidge warmer than what we are going to see tomorrow. Here's your day planner, 68 to start, 86 by noon. That isolated thunderstorm, high temp, right around 90 degrees. But at least our heat indices aren't going to be too high. They're going to be sitting mainly into low to mid 90s for us tomorrow. And then as we go into Thursday, heat indices will be into the mid 90s. So that's going to start to creep up just a little bit as we go through the next couple days. But again, as we get into Friday and Saturday, we'll at least have some better chances to get a few scattered thunderstorms in the area, which we always need the rain this time of the year. All right, let's go 90 on Wednesday, 92 on Thursday, upper 80s on Friday and Saturday. So temperatures the rest of the week, not too bad. Then we start to heat back up through the mid 90s and upper 90s as we get into late next week.
All right, well, I've enjoyed the cooler temperatures.
Yeah, it's been pretty nice.
Not really looking forward to a creep back up there, but
it happens.
It is the end of July.
Yes.
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, get those wish lists ready. Coming up, we'll check out what experts expect to be the hottest toys of the year. Topping today's Consumer Watch, homes in the U.S. are the most expensive they've ever been, at least in this century. The median price of a previously owned home rose to nearly $427,000 in June. That's the second month in a row prices reached a fresh record high based on data going back to 1999. Meanwhile, existing home sales, which make up a vast majority of the housing market, fell 5.4% last month. For toy makers, the countdown to the holiday season has already begun, and so has the battle to be this year's hottest toy. Bradley Blackburn got an inside look at this year's trends and what might be on the top of wish list. Go!
In the race to be this year's top toy, Lori Schacht knows how to pick a winner.
Lori, you're the pro!
She's tracked toy trends for decades at the Toy Insider and brings top toy makers together for the annual Sweet Sweet event in New York.
We know that parents love to share things with their children that they had when they were children.
That means old 90s favorites are back, like the Ninja Turtles. But it's today's kid influencers like Kira and Cam from Missouri who have the real superpower to shape trends.
Kira! Ooh! What's this? I've got to get this open!
Their videos reviewing toys can get millions of views.
It's July. You're already making your Christmas list? I know! I want that shaking thing where you say,
Shaking things up this year, there's plenty of new.
What do you want to do, Peanut?
Peanut the playful monkey blinks, walks, and swings with more than 100 interactions. Don't worry, there's still an off switch.
There's the off switch.
There's the off switch right on the foot.
And meet Poe.
This is our AI storytelling bear.
Kids tap prompts in an app, then OpenAI creates a custom story.
Joining her was Prince Leo. Who did it make you think of?
Teddy Ruxpin.
Right, but this is a whole different generation. It's a story created from the kids' own ideas, what they've chosen.
It's not just toys. Craft kits are a huge category right now. Kids love them, and so do parents. A new spin on old classics. Toys ready to bring joy to the next generation. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Everyone needs an Etch-a-Sketch. Toys aren't just for kids, adults buy them too. Lego is among the big brands now designing for grown-ups with sets that can cost hundreds of dollars. E-commerce giant Overstock.com is attempting a comeback with a new rebranding campaign. The relaunch comes just 1 year after Overstock's new owners switched its name to Bed Bath & Beyond. The owners were hoping to benefit from the bankrupt retailer's name and domain. Company chairman called last year's attempt to rebrand a, quote, fatal mistake, as the changes did not fare well with shoppers. Be cautious on the World Wide Web. Government officials say hackers are taking advantage of the major tech outage that's been causing grief around the globe. They say cyber criminals are promoting fake websites that have malicious software, including some with keywords like CrowdStrike. That's the name of the cybersecurity firm that recently had a glitch that caused the tech crises. Final check of the forecast is next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, one town's battle to rebuild after a twister. And then on KOAM News at 6, we'll have more on the public meeting to discuss the future of Highway 69. Plus, the Wyandotte School District hosts a band camp to prepare for the school year. And it's MIAA Football Media Day. We'll hear from Pitt State and Missouri Southern about the upcoming season. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6.
Well, looks pretty good. If you're going to be outside this evening, temperatures are going to be sliding back through the 80s, eventually 70s, and then upper 60s later on tonight. Smidge warmer tomorrow, about 90. Very slight chance again for a random afternoon storm. A little hotter on Thursday, and then a little better chance to get some scattered thunderstorms on Friday and Saturday.
Weren't too creative with the random storm and hot.
I get bored this time of year.
Yeah, it's like the same thing every day. All right, well, thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next, and of course, we'll be right back here for KOAM News at 6. We'll see you then. Have a great evening and an even better tomorrow.